On the next round, meeting some amazing companies that are focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion in Arizona. And so I'm very excited for our next guest. So Robin Thorenson is from OneAZ Credit Union. So Robin, would love for you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Robin Thorson, HR Business Partner Manager here at OneAZ. A little bit about OneAZ. We are the second largest credit union in the state of Arizona. We have 20 branches throughout the state of Arizona, from up in the northern region through the southern portion of the state. We have over 500 associates supporting our organization. And really our mission here at OneAZ is to improve the lives of all Arizonans. So we are a financial industry leader in the state, and we are committed to doing the right thing and being the preferred financial institution for our members in our Arizona communities.
Awesome. Very cool. So I'm going to start us off with actually looking at the career side of things. So for the job seekers that are listening, what are your top 3 career tips, things that job seekers should be thinking about as they're talking to folks today in the different booths?
Such a great question. Yes. So definitely have a few recommendations for our job seekers out there today. The top 3 tips that I would recommend is to be prepared by having done research on an organization. So just be prepared to answer questions, ask questions about the organization specifically. Also be prepared with your particular positions as far as job experience goes and those accomplishments that you've achieved throughout your career that really align with those positions that you're applying for. And then lastly, I would say really just showing excitement in the role and in the organization that you're applying for. So like I said, having done that research, talk about your achievements that align with the role and ask questions and ask really questions about what would best align for you as being a part of that organization. And then just one final tip, I always like to share that really your resume is your first impression to an employer. Should just make sure that's updated. It aligns with the position and the organization that you're applying for. It's free of grammatical errors and just is really a true reflection of yourself and how you could be an asset and a contribution to the organization that you're applying for.
Awesome. Robert. Yeah, I actually just had a friend of mine review my resume a few weeks ago, and he found a spelling error, and I was like mortified. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious, like I should know better. I should know these things. I do this for a living. But so how long have you been with OneAZ Credit Union, and why do you stay? What's great about working there?
Sure, absolutely. So I have been with OneAZ for coming up on 9 years now. I spent about 5 or so years really focusing on the talent acquisition and recruitment side of the house in HR before moving into more of the business partner and employee relations side of HR. Absolutely love the organization. Cannot say enough great things about the organization. I would have to say the number one thing that I am most excited about the organization, though, is really truly the people that I get to work with. So the members on my HR team, but also just the leaders and the associates throughout the organizations here at our corporate office where I'm at here today in North Phoenix, but also all of our leaders and associates at our branches throughout the state too. Although we're 500 associates, a little bit on the larger side of an organization goes, of course, it still has very much that family feel, and you're going to get the support and the resources from the members of the team here at OneAZ. So that's what is most important to me as being a OneAZ team member.
Awesome. What roles are you all hiring for in your booth today?
Sure. So we do have a wide variety of positions available here at OneAZ. It is constantly changing, so always check out our careers page for updates. But some of the ones that we wanted to highlight today is we do have personal banker openings in northern and southern Arizona. We have wealth advisor openings, and then we do have a number of positions open here at our corporate office, which I mentioned was here in North Phoenix. So we have consumer loan servicing marketing specialist. We have customer service positions, several IT positions, network engineer, application administrator, system administrator, and then a couple marketing positions as well, our digital graphic designer and our marketing project specialist openings.
Awesome. So you have you kind of run the whole gamut of openings right now, which is amazing. And I know, our job seekers are very diverse in what they're looking for. So that is great that you have so many different positions open. So tell me, from a diversity, equity, and inclusion perspective, why is that important to your organization? Why is that important to you? What are the things that really stand out for you?
Sure, absolutely. No, great question. So here at OneAZ, our mission, as I mentioned, is really to improve lives. And we just really value and understand that individuals do think differently and bring different perspectives and different contributions to our organization. So our goal is to really create a psychologically safe place for our associates to bring new ideas, speak up, disagree with a certain perspective, and to offer their own perspective. And like I said, just be themselves. And we truly value that individual perspective. And we really believe that all of our minds together and our ideas together are more valuable than just having, a directive, for example.
Absolutely. And I assume that your member base is also fairly diverse. So that's also important, just to be able to have the right, the faces in the bank that are representative of your members as well.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
definitely something that we focus on and incorporating into our recruitment efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So when you think about like specific programs that you do for your employees around inclusive practices, around inclusion, what are some things that are, kind of stand out for you, for your group? What do you all do in regards to an inclusive culture?
Great question. So we do actually have a committee that is representative of our many associates and leaders that we refer to as our Together is Better committee, which really focuses on our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging initiatives as an organization. So really focused around associates bringing their whole self to work and having that diversity as part of our culture, just one of our core components of our culture. So we do, as I was mentioning, we do integrate our Together is Better initiatives into our recruitment efforts, our business development, our member promotions as well. Everything, including our gender neutral and open dress code policy. So there are many different things that we do here at OneAZ that really tie back to our diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging efforts as an organization.
Awesome. And I think, for a financial institution, that's very progressive. So thank you. I applaud you all for being very open and very much an inclusive space where folks can be themselves and show up as themselves. That's awesome.
We're constantly evaluating what we can do as an organization to further expand our efforts in the DEI and B space. Absolutely.
Awesome. So when you think about your organization and, what are the most important DEI initiatives? What are the things that you're focusing on this year? Is there something that for you personally that stands out as, hey, this is one that I like, that's impactful for you personally, or that's impactful for your team?
As far as a program that we've implemented that really ties back to the DEI and B initiatives of the organization?
Yeah,
absolutely. So one really awesome program that we did put in place this year was the introduction of course, we have our regular PTO, we have our vacation time, sick time, personal days, but we did recently introduce floating holidays for associates. So of course, we have our holidays that, paid holidays for all of our associates, but we recognize that some individuals might celebrate different holidays that don't align with those paid holidays that the organization already offers. So having the opportunity for associates to utilize those floating holidays for different cultural or religious observances throughout the year really ties back to our DEI and B initiatives as an organization. So that's one that we've been really excited about rolling out this year and that we've received good feedback on from associates.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, again, as a banking institution, as a financial institution, obviously you're probably recognizing the federal holidays, but being able to give some leeway to your folks and let them kind of decide how do they want to celebrate their culture, all of those things. That's fantastic. So thank you.
Exactly.
So as a job seeker, how should folks evaluate the culture, the values, all of those things as they're looking for jobs? What are some recommendations that you have for job seekers of how they should start looking at organizations?
Sure. No, that's a great question to really understand if it's a good fit for them. You know, it's as much as the employer is interviewing a candidate, the candidate should be interviewing the employer as well to make sure it's a good fit for them as well. So my recommendations would be to research the organization, make sure that it's really in alignment with what your values are. Does the organization's mission and values really align with what you're seeking as a job seeker? So just really make sure that you have that alignment there, and then also ultimately be transparent yourself too. Talk about what you're looking for from an employer, what's important to you, what values you have as an individual, and to ensure that alignment. So I definitely make sure to ensure that transparency and authenticity as a job seeker, and ask questions to make sure that the areas of focus from the organization truly align with yours as a job seeker as well.
I love that. And Robin, that's been a theme of, so we've had a few of these conversations already this morning with some other organizations in Arizona. And, that's the theme that I think we need to continue pushing, is that exactly what you said, that it's not just a one-way interview. You're interviewing the organization as well. And making sure you have that fit is such a critical component to having a long and successful career. Obviously, you've been there for 9 years, so you're having a great career at OneAZ. So that's amazing. Your booth today, so you have folks in the booth today, definitely go over and visit the OneAZ Credit Union booth. And any last tips that you would give to job seekers about your specific company or about any roles that they're looking for today?
I think we've really covered it. I really appreciate the time. Definitely, I think asking those questions, being prepared, focused on your resume and those first impressions, and making sure that you're asking those in questions. And just like you were mentioning, as far as that, really making sure that there's that fit on both sides too. You want to make sure that you're getting into a great organization that really fits with your values, your expectations as a job seeker, and just those expectations as from the employee perspective too.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, folks, definitely go over and check out OneAZ Credit Union. Check out their booth, virtual booth. I keep saying booth, virtual booth. And thank you for joining us this morning, Robin. We really appreciate it, and hopefully get some good candidates today.
So appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.